I've just finished restringing the EKCO. I was going to do it on camera. The first time I thought it was recording, and I was halfway through a delicate stringing procedure, and then the camera turned off, and then I realised I wasn't recording. And it was probably just as well, because I was starting to lose my temper a bit by that point. So that avoided any embarrassment on my behalf. I think we're back together now. All I've got to do is set the dial chord. The trouble with the EKCO is because scale calibration is awkward. What it does is it asks you to set the position on the dial and then take it out of the box and then check the oscillator and things like that. Well, that's a real pain in the bum, because that means it's in and out all the time. So what I've done is I've made a couple of marks on the top edge of the tuning dial to hopefully show where everything is. Now I'm just finishing off tying off these dial string. This is the dial string, it's just been finished now. I haven't actually put this bit on, so it could still all go wrong and pop off, and you could indeed see me lose my temper a bit with it, but I've been good so far. So let's get this to the end of its scale and then just slide this onto the tuning pointer. Now you can see very well. Let me just zoom in a bit. I'm trying to get the pointer back onto the string, and that involves hooking it around. Let me just show you actually. I'll show you what I've got to do by turning it round. It might be easier because it looks like it's already started to hook up. Right, we're looking over here. As you get too close to the camera, it won't focus that closely. Just focus a bit further. No, that's as close as it's going to go. So you can see all I've got to do is hook around this string. It just involves a bit of jiggery pokery to get it round the hook so it holds it correctly in position without it sort of tipping the pointer over when you tune. So let's get that round there, that one round there, and then the other one around the top. I'll just tension the string a bit more. That'll be taken up by the spring on the. Let's feel the spring stretching. Like that. Now all I've got to do. Oh, absolutely! Look at that. I think we're spot on. Are we spot on? Oh no, we're not spot on. We've got to slide the cord slightly along. Until we're fully open on the gang. Nearly there. Okay, we're fully open on the gang, and I'm just going to slide the pointer along to the mark I made, and that should be centre scale. Check. Not quite going. Full swing that way, so I'm just going to bring the string along a bit further. Be a bit careful here because you can actually break the string by. It looks like it's the maximum capacitance there. One thing I'm a little bit concerned about is it does say you go 2.5 times round the tuning knob. I'm not sure. Looks like I've only gone round 1.5. It's actually made the tuning a little bit sloppy. I must admit this is a bit tight actually on here. I've tightened this up because it was sort of riding slightly. So that's a bit better. That's better. So that's probably all that was. This pulley here it could do with slightly bending it out, because what the trouble is, I don't know if you can see here on this string, where are we? Just down here, the angle of that string there. See, what's happening is as the pointer gets towards the end, it's trying to pull it off the pulley. So what I'm going to try and do is bend that pulley around slightly, ever so carefully, like that. Doesn't actually help that. I think you made it worse or anything. Goes that end, but it stops that end. Bring that back to where it was, because that's obviously hasn't improved anything at all. It's just slipping on the end now. Can't work out if that's slipping. It's a bit gungy on this track actually. I need to make sure this is reliable, because I don't want to put it back in the case and 6 months later the thing starts slipping on the track again. So let's just give this a bit of a clean up with something. There's a thick layer of dirty grease on the thing. I think it isn't helping much. Let's give that a clean up on the sled along here. Better. Another along there again. Sort of like some thick old grease that's become a bit congealed with age. I think what's happening is it's just sticking up on that. I think really ideally what I should do is restring it again and get it to go around that tuning control, the shaft 2.5 times, as opposed to what it looks like I've done is 1.5 times. So obviously it's not getting the surface area on the pulley, and therefore it's slipping slightly. I must admit it does seem to be absolutely fine now. It's going one end, no problem at all. Fine tuning seems fine. I think that's alright, to be honest with you. I'm quite pleased with that. I thought I'd gone around 2.5 times actually. It's pretty sloppy on my part, but so that's the tuning fixed. That looks all good now. Now what's the latest story with the valves are, I checked the I've had 3 UABC80s. They're that's the detector here, and I found one that I've written on it good, and I checked that one and that had really good emission. It wasn't the new one I've got, so I put that's the new ABC80, that's in there ready to go. I've got on order a UF85, because the UF85, I checked it on the valve tester, and it had really strong grid emissions, and when you tapped the valve it was jumping around, and I didn't have another replacement one, but I've managed to find a new old stock one for pretty good values, about less than 5 quid I think it was. So that's good, that's on its way. Interesting enough, this one's got a strange, I don't know if you can see that. Let's zoom right out. You can see the where the top of the valve is. I don't know if you can, is this camera going to focus? There's a ring, and that's the getter ring. That's where they fire the getter off, and it's actually one of the it's not a round one, it's like almost like an oval shape. Can you see that? Just in there. It's not a round I think these are slightly sort of, I don't know if they're rare, but they're a bit more unusual. But anyway, that valve's knackered anyway, so that's on its way apparently. The other one is this UCH81, and that's the first IF valve. So we're also waiting for one of. I'm going to have to buy another one of those. Now they're not cheap. They're at 10-15 quid. I've found a couple of those, but according to my valve test they're all a bit flaky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for the UF85 to come. We'll try these UCH81s in here, see if we can get any better performance out of it. I'm pretty sure we're going to get much better performance out of it, because obviously the second IF valve, this valve here, it was yeah, obviously failing. It's obviously on its way out. I did also find this UCC85. Now it's a crappy make, but it might have slightly better emissions than this one, and this is the FM front end, so it might be a bit of a plug and chop out just to so I can get any better improvement on its performance. Pygmy bulbs on the way. I've ordered one of those so we can have our nice Christmas tree light back scale illumination. God knows why they used a bulb that size, I really don't know. It's going to look like there's a fire going on inside it. It's a 15 watt floodlight in the back. So yeah, it's the worst part of it was the stringing, which is done, and that's all good to go. Probably a bit of lubrication on the jockey wheels and things, and then we'll try and do the alignment again, and then probably give it a bench soak for a while and just see if anything goes up in smoke, or it's, you know, if the valves keep going, and then it will be starting to put it back together, and hopefully it will be a nice finished working radio. Anyway, thanks for watching this part, and when I've got the valve, we'll have another go at trying to get the set to work a bit better. Thanks for watching.